So anyway, good morning and welcome to the State Ethics Commission. Today is, what is today? 25th of March. And the time is now 10 o'clock, not 9 o'clock. Somebody gave a earlier. Let's start off with a roll call.
I'm sorry, so it's just making sure if you can make sure your presence is known when your name is called, and if you're participating remotely, state whether anyone else is present with you at your remote location. Starting with Commissioner Hall,
Present and no one else.
Commissioner Thielen,
Present and only my rescue dog.
Commissioner Becker, I'm here. Commissioner Gray,
Present.
Chair.
Chair is here.
Do you mind if I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So my name is Executive Director Harris. I'm present in the conference room. Also joining me inside the conference room is Keith Campbell and Melissa. I'm joining remotely is Compliance Director Chang, Staff Attorney Neufer, Yamanuha, and Yi, and Computer Specialist Louie. I think I've gotten everybody. Even though this is an in-person meeting, please be aware that all meeting participants are being recorded on the digital record of the Zoom meeting, which will be posted to our website and used to create official minutes. Your continued participation is your implied consent to be a part of the public record of this event. If you do not wish to be part of the public record, you should exit this meeting now. For any members of the public who may be joining us remotely, if the Commission's video conference connection is lost during the meeting, we will recess the meeting and reconvene after our connection is restored. Please check the Commission's website, ethics.hawaii.gov, for information about reconnecting to the meeting. If the meetings continue to a later date or terminated, information about this will be posted on our website. Are there any members of the public joining us who would like to identify themselves at this time?
Yes, no. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You do, but you don't.
One
This is
unmuted.
Judith Wong with League of Women Voters, just observing. Thank you.
LWB.
League of Women Voters.
Oh. Okay, thank you very much, Robert. First order of business, approval of the minutes of February 18th, 2026. Any corrections? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move.
Moved by Commissioner Thielen.
Second. I'll defer to Ms. Gray.
By Commissioner Hong. Thanks. Does any member of the public have any comments about the minutes? Not, roll call.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Thielen,
Aye.
Commissioner Becker, Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
Chair.
And chair votes aye, no objections, motion carried. Director's report.
If I can go ahead at this time and turn it over to Benita to talk about education and disclosures.
Morning, Commissioners. We're in the middle of financial disclosure season, so we've already received the updates from the agencies, and we will be, continuing to assist continuing filers in processing and filing their forms. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to staff. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For continuing filers and board members, the deadline to file this year is Monday, June 1st, since the 31st is on Sunday. Upcoming deadlines for lobbying disclosures. Next Tuesday, I believe it is the first report for January, February for lobbying expenditure reporting. We'll also be working with our developer to implement the new procurement lobbying requirements for the lobbying reporting system and making other updates to the lobbying e-filing system. And similar regarding the website updates, we're making improvements to our online forms and information posted on our website to comply with the new ADA federal requirements. We have already updated the online complaint form. We'll be rolling and turning that on officially April 1st. And that will also have a new landing page, frequently asked questions. And we're going to be also working to convert existing quick guides and flyers that are in PDF format that have to be ADA compliant. Redesigning the flyers and website information does involve a significant amount of time and resources, but ultimately the goal is to improve the user experience in being able to submit information to our office and obtain general information quickly about our area of work and jurisdiction. If there are any other questions, I'll be glad to answer that.
Do we have any delinquent departments or anybody who's dragging their feet? in
Agencies
education?
Agencies have been very helpful in kind of assisting us, and we continue to work with agencies and reaching out to them on both the disclosures and education. So we are closely working with them.
Any questions or comments by the commission? How about the public? Okay, thanks.
I can turn over guidance and assistance statistics to Key Campbell.
Okay, so for last month, we had 41 open cases. We closed 36. Year over year, we're about even. So pretty much closing what has been opened. In terms of what's going on in the future, for next month, we're going to do enhanced statistical reporting for the first quarter stats. So we're working with that. And yeah, if you have any questions, happy to address them.
No, I noticed that compliment to you, I guess, for our staff. I think the only one cases of 2023 that's still open.
Yeah, we've done a good job at clearing out other cases. I don't want to discuss individual cases.
No, I don't.
But
Yeah,
we've really shortened the time period it takes to both review the cases, and then the number of cases that are old has been reduced over the last several years.
compliment to the staff.
Absolutely.
Questions, comments from the commission? From the public? Thanks.
Mr. Munis, on this projects and updates, I just wanted to share that we do have at least 3 staff. Benita, Key, and myself are pretty involved with COGL, which is the Conference on Government Ethics and Laws, which is our international organization that we are part of, and we attend the annual conference. We are all sort of involved in training efforts and trying to do proposals for next year's conference. So hoping to maybe move away from some of the ethics updates, update kind of stuff, and doing more sort of specific tailored training sessions, either for people new to this area or for more advanced programs. So we've gotten sort of a warm reception, but promise when you make recommendations, sometimes they actually ask you to do the work of making a change. So, kudos to the staff for helping work on that. But that's all.
Are they gonna ask us to participate? I was a little disappointed that they didn't ask us to participate in our last COGL.
Yes, I think that is a part of it. I think they're asking us to help plan the sessions and potentially speak.
Good. Where is it gonna be and when again?
It will be early December. It's in Colorado this year. Denver. It's a beautiful city.
It snows in October.
I think we every COGL conference is in December, and it almost always is in a cold city, so that's just par for course. But we do know the next, I think, 3 or 4 COGL destinations, so that's all known in advance now.
December. This is nothing. I think the last one, the coldest was in Montreal. Was there Montreal?
Weren't you describing the Chicago
Or
one?
the Chicago? Oh, freezing. Yeah.
It used to be in September,
Well, no, that's,
and it was much warmer.
yeah, no, it's a hardship tour on this commission, let me tell you. Any questions or comments from the board, commission? Public? Okay, next. Legislative matter, I'm sorry, discussion on ethics commission since the last meeting.
So for the public, this is a standing media or standing agenda item with an opportunity to talk about recent media stories that may or may not have been covered since the last meeting. I'm just gonna highlight some of the ones that we have written down. February 20th, 2026, Hood Line, Honolulu, did a notice about our commission's 2 advisory opinions that we had issued. February 22nd, Star Advertiser had an editorial entitled Push Opportunity to Halt Corruption, and it focused specifically on some of our ethics and corruption bills that were pending through the legislature. Similarly, on February 22nd, the Civil Beat also had in their sunshine specific focus on the nepotism bills that have been introduced, anti-net. February 23rd, somewhat affiliated, the governor issued a press release appointing Dan Gluck as Associate Judge for the Intermediate Court of Appeals, which relatedly, I'll just note that that has now gone through. He is now an Associate Judge. February 25th, Hawaii Free Press had a article talking about AO that the commission had issued last meeting. March 8th, Civil Beat wrote an article about the most influential people of the state capitol, focusing on lobbyists and heavily relying on our lobbyist disclosure reports for that. March 13th, Maui Now did a focus on good government bills crossing over the Senate, including a number of the Ethics Commission bills. March 15th, Civil Beat. Similarly, the Civil Beat did an article called "The Sun is Still Shining for Key Reform Bills Halfway Through the Session," and noting a number of our ethics bills. And then March 22nd, that dark cloud of the legislature, this bill would make it even darker. An article by the Civil Beat focusing on a bill that would remove financial disclosure requirements for the UH Board of Regents, and also changing the Sunshine Law to allow them to have annual sessions that would be outside of the Sunshine Law. And that's all the media reports.
Just for the record, congratulations to Dan. I'm sure he got all of his experience from the State Ethics Commission, and well deserved. Any questions, comments from the commission? How about the public? Okay, not item number 4, legislative matters.
Commissioners, this is an update on bills. If you note on the agenda, the individual bills do have a blue hyperlink that if you have the electronic version, you can click on in order to go to find out current status, as well as to look at the testimony and other things. So this time we did not include our testimony just to save paper, but it is all available. And then for members of the public who don't have access to the electronic version, you can go to capital.hawaii.gov and then use the toolbox to search up each individual bill to find out information that may not be present here. Just quick summary, if you don't mind, Chair, if I just go through each bill. Budget, which obviously is a point of interest for myself and staff. Our budget has been signed into law as Act 1 by the governor. So that is now done. Looking at our Ethics Commission packages, HB 2106 and HSB 2246, which expands the number of boards and commissions that have to file publicly, as well as includes executive directors, has passed over on both sides. SB 2246 is a bill that is moving forward on the House side and has already been heard by its subject matter committee. HB 2107 and SB 2247, which is a prohibition on executive branch employees who are nominated or appointed by the governor to a compensated position. It prevents them from being engaged in certain campaign fundraising activities. This has also passed over and is also moving forward on the House side. HB 2108 and SB 2248, which is requiring financial disclosures to be filed before they go through Senate confirmation, has crossed over. However, it's not yet been heard by either subject matter committees. So this bill may be a little bit in doubt at this point. HB 2109, SB 2245, it's essentially a new pre-employment restriction, and it does some housekeeping efforts on the post-employment. Has crossed over and is currently still moving. Our nepotism bills, which are HB 2110 and SB 224, have both been held up. However, a bill introduced by Senator Kim and some others, SB 2661, which is below, is still moving and actually was just heard a few days ago on the House side and is still moving.
Is that in lieu of our bill since?
It's identical language, so
That's what I thought, yeah.
Procurement, this is a bill introduced by Senator McKelvey, SB 2970, is moving in the House. This bill would prohibit a agency from entering into contract with a business that's owned or operated by a relative or household member of a director or deputy director of a state department. It actually now also makes a mild change to our existing prohibition on entering into contracts with state employees. Previously, there was anything under $10,000 was allowed. This would now remove that $10,000 limit and essentially say any contract with state employee would have to go through one of three measures. Essentially, it'd have to be a no bid, or sorry, it'd have to be a through the procurement process, through a procurement open, transparent process. We have covered SB 2661. This bill is moving. SB 2778, which we talked about quite a bit at the last meeting, which would require financial assets to be put into a blind trust, has not crossed and is likely dead for this year. And then finally, maybe I'll take a little bit of time to talk about HB 1873. As I noted before in the media, I've introduced a op-ed about this, and there's been some media attention on this bill specifically. This would remove the UH Board of Regents from the public financial disclosure requirements. And it would also, and it's not something we've testified, but it would also change the Sunshine Law as applied to them. So we've been somewhat strong in our opposition to this bill, and have noted that majority states do have public financial, over 40 states have public financial disclosure requirements. And we've gathered a list of universities that have similar requirements, including a lot of the major universities, including, for example, the University of California, the University of Michigan, the University of Washington, and so on. So I think we're trying to make the point that this is sort of a normal ethics guardrail, and it's important to continue.
What's the reason for it to begin with? I know it, maybe everybody else.
I've had a lot of conversations, and he's been very friendly about it with the primary sponsor of this. He's just indicated that he's not comfortable with how the Board of Regents currently is operating, and thinks that there are qualified regents who are not applying or not raising their hand to be a part because of this obligation, and that he wants to try to see the Board of Regents be better.
Does he know what type or category of regent applications like to see? Well, in other words, who's not coming forward? Business, academic?
It's a good question. I have not zeroed in on that specifically. I've gotten feedback from people who have been in UH leadership who were not happy at the time when this first went into effect in 2014. And they've largely pointed to people in the financial industry, bankers predominantly, with a lot of assets, who then stepped down at the time this went into effect. And so I think, generally speaking, that's who they're pointing to.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? How about from the audience or the public? Okay, let's see what happens. I will not make comments since I teach there, so we'll see what happens. But thank you for your, I guess, editorial for that. See what happens. Okay, anything else?
I guess as a final comment, I mean, I think it is ultimately a policy decision by the legislature as to which boards and commissions file publicly. What happened in 2014, as we have seen it, has drawn a line between boards and commissions that have significant procurement, financial oversight, significant, essentially power, for lack of a better way of phrasing it. And so we try to adhere to that line. So board and commissions that may have less responsibility, we would not support having a public financial disclosure requirement, but trying to keep that line of which boards and commissions. And that's why we proposed 5 new boards and commissions this year. Many of them were not in existence back in 2014, or maybe sort of keep us within that classification. I'm just sharing this maybe just to kind of share maybe the perspective of which boards and commissions should be public and which ones shouldn't be. But also kind of the fear in having this discussion that we may see some backsliding and may see other boards and commissions no longer be public in the future, which I think is contrary to our constitutional charge, which is maintaining public confidence in government.
Because I think that kind of policy change would certainly add to government mistrust.
Okay, any questions, comments? Not, thank you. Item number 5. Should we excuse you?
Maybe if I could do a bit of a brief introduction, if
Sure.
it's utterly up to the commission. We have been doing annual evaluations, which are, I think, very useful and very important to do. We are a bit behind doing this one. What is proposed is essentially mirroring or very similar to what happened last year. If there's any discussion about the types of questions or the process, that is something that usually would be public. However, if you want to have a discussion about the law or sort of rights and responsibilities or privileges, the commission can go into executive session. Both Candace Park, who is your Deputy Attorney General, and Benita are here present to help talk about those things. And I would be excused, and I think we can excuse, essentially anybody else who's currently in the meeting.
Anybody have an objection that we turn into executive session to talk with our attorneys? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn into the executive session to discuss this matter with our counsel.
So moved.
Second.
I have to read this. The purposes of the Sunshine Law, the authorized participants of this executive session are myself, Commissioners Hong, Thielen, Becker, and Gray. Executive Director Harris, Compliance Director Chang, Enforcement Director Campbell, Staff Attorneys Nipper, Yamaga E, and Computer Specialist Liu.
I think that's a generic statement.
That's a generic
Yeah.
statement because we're going to excuse our executive director. Commissioners and staff are participating in this meeting remotely. Do you affirm that you're alone and that no unauthorized person can hear you? If you just say yes. Commissioner Thielen, you're alone, right?
Yes,
Commissioner Hall, you're alone, right?
Yes.
All right.
Chair, I think we need to vote first on the motion.
Remote first?
Yeah.
All right. All in favor of adjourning into an executive session? We need a roll call on this.
Commissioner Hong,
Hey,
Commissioner Thielen,
aye.
Commissioner Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Chair.
Chair votes aye, no objections. We are now adjourned into executive session. We will excuse.
We're still in sunshine. Still in sunshine meeting. Although,
Okay, we are back in the sunshine session. And we had a very, how do you say, productive executive session. And the commission met with counsel regarding the current status of litigation relating to the requirements of the Sunshine Law and the legal obligations of the commission regarding the annual evaluation of our executive director. The discussion generally related to Sunshine Law requirements and exceptions under the law under HRS 92-5 subsection A subsection 2 relating to the hire, evaluation, dismissal, or discipline of an officer or employee or of charges brought against the officer or employee where consideration of matters of effective primacy will be involved. As such, we are ready to proceed with the evaluation of our executive director, Robert Harris. And if I may ask Bonita to explain the process again in detail with the deadlines, and then I'll entertain a motion that we accept this process and any modifications or recommendations. Bonita?
The recommended process would be, the evaluation would be based on the review of the annual report, as well as the executive director's self-evaluation and a survey conducted of commissioners to help assist the commission in its evaluation. In addition, the commission is considering conducting a staff survey as well to provide it with further information. So the proposed deadlines to accommodate all of these tasks would be, we would distribute the self-evaluation commissioners poll on March 30th. The same day we'd also be routing a staff survey. Responses to would be due April 6th. I would then compile all this information and present it to the commission for its discussion on April 15th at this April meeting.
I wanted to reschedule an appointment.
What?
Sorry about it. She went on mute.
Oh, okay. Okay, any questions in regards to the procedures? In regards to the evaluation of our executive director? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we approve of the process outlined by Bonita and the such modifications and recommendations as she enunciated. I'd like to have a motion to that effect. Moved by Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Moyer. Great. Any discussion? Anybody, do we have anybody? Any comments or any questions by
Members of the
public? None? Roll call.
Starting with Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Thielen,
Aye.
Commissioner Becker,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
Chair.
Chair votes aye, no objections, the motion is carried. Thank you, everybody, and thank you to our council for your guidance. I believe that is all we have. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Moved by Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
I second.
Second.
Second? Which lady should I pick? Okay, well, seconded by Commissioner Thielen. All in favor? Just all those in favor, raise your right hand to adjourn. No objections, noted. We are now adjourned. Come back. Actually, does anybody need a break? If not, we're gonna go right into